Towers of Power came out strong in Game 1 of the semifinals to defeat New Trier 56-42. Sarah Kwasinski and Aaron Lawless are ready for their championship matchup against the Neuqua Valley Wildcats, who took the lead early and never looked back, defeating Galesburg High School 51-37 in the second semifinal game. The Wildcats are ready for the chance to bring home a state title. It's Fenwick against Neuqua Valley in tonight's Girls Class AA State Championship game. It does not get any better than right here in Illinois, and that's why the IHSA network has made sure that 4,000 households, or 4 million, households are able to see the best coverage of the finals. Welcome back to Redburn Arena. I'm Lisa Prati with the IHSA network, and this is the big Class AA championship game between the Fenwick Friars and the Neuqua Valley Wildcats. Now Fenwick, this is their second time making it downstate. For Neuqua Valley, it's their first. Now, will experience be the key to tonight's game? Well, we're only moments away from the actual tip-off to find out. So for more on tonight's game between Neuqua Valley and Fenwick, here are your announcers, Dave Bernhardt and Stacy Carney.
Thank you very much, Lisa. And I'll tell you what, you cannot hear yourself down here. Fenwick fans, Neuqua Valley fans, right here, getting it going, the state championship in just a few moments. I'm Dave Bernhardt, this is Stacy Carney. You know, 3 weeks ago this state tournament started, but 3 weeks ago, Stacy, I don't think we could have expected this particular matchup.
Absolutely not, Dave. Right now, Fenwick is getting ready to take on Neuqua Valley, a school that's only been in existence for 4 years, let alone with a varsity team for 3. We expected Fenwick to be here since they've been ranked, and they were ranked #1 in the country at one point. But Neuqua Valley, it's having a Cinderella season this year.
Both these teams had to negotiate a very difficult road to get here. That's what state tournament play is all about. Of course, they were the #1 seeds in their respective sectionals. But for Neuqua Valley, they just kept marching and marching and marching through. They take a look, they go through the Lockport sectional. The super sectional, they defeat crosstown rival Naperville Central, and then down here, they defeat Galesburg in the semifinals. Belleville East fell in quarterfinal action in that sectional championship game against Naperville Central. It was a pair of beautiful freshman centers. Now, as far as Fenwick is concerned, of course, they were the top seed in the Oak Lawn sectional. New Trier fell to them earlier today in the semifinals. It was a huge game in the quarterfinals against Chicago Marshall, but the Friars are here and they mean business. Tonight, you are going to see a number of outstanding players, all-state players all over this floor, but that's the way it should be. We're going to see some players that are starting their high school careers, other players that are finishing them up. One young lady that you better get used to hearing her name. She wears the green and gold of Neuqua Valley. That is Lindsay Wisdom.
Absolutely. Lindsay Wisdom is going to be a key player today for Neuqua Valley. She kind of sets the tone for them because she makes so many things happen. As you can see right here, she takes the ball. She has point guard skills. This is a kid that grew 6 inches over the summer, so she's got great ball handling skills and great overall talent.
Of course, it is the blue and gold for Lindsay Wisdom. She wears that for the Neuqua Valley Wildcats. She had the outstanding game against Galesburg. You would not believe she's a freshman. 18 points, 8 rebounds. She steals the ball 4 times and has 2 blocks. On the other side, a young lady that will be finishing up her career in the high school ranks in the state of Illinois. She'll be going to Northwestern to play her collegiate basketball. That's the big gal, 6'4" Sarah Kwasinski.
Yes, Sarah Kwasinski is a huge force inside for Fenwick, and Coach June Olkowski from Northwestern is going to have a real special player in Sarah, and I think that she's going to do quite well on the next level. She's just a real dominant force inside. She had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks in the semifinal game. I think she's definitely a key player to watch.
Speaking of keys, you get this far. You play 35 to 40 games in a season. It comes down to one 32-minute game right here on the big floor at Illinois State University. How about the keys for each of these 2 teams tonight?
For Neuqua Valley, I think the first thing they need to do is box out and rebound. They've got to keep Lawless, Kwasinski, and even Atchison off the boards. They also need to work on their interior defense because of Fenwick's inside-outside game. And their full court pressure has gotten them here this far. I think they need to continue to do that, and I think, just play hard.
As far as Fenwick is concerned, the Friars have come into the favorite in this ball game, and maybe the favorite in the entire state tournament. But tonight, they've seen Neuqua Valley. They've seen what they can do in the course of state tournament play. How about the Friars? What does Dave Power have in mind?
Dave Power just needs to continue to be consistent with his inside-outside game. That's what's gotten them this far, and they just need to continue to play solid defense because Neuqua Valley is a great passing team. And also, they need to try to break the spirit early of the Neuqua Valley team because Neuqua Valley right now, they're kind of just flying high, and they're pretty carefree. They're just having a good time. So if you kind of get them down in the first part of the game, it might kind of break their spirits.
You know, there's a rich tradition of basketball here in the state of Illinois, and as far as the girls are concerned, this marks the 25th state tournament. Yeah, as rich as that tradition is, it's a new tradition. There's some new kids on the block in girls basketball in Illinois, and they're playing on this floor here tonight.
Yeah, actually, like we said before, the Neuqua Valley, this is only their third season as a varsity program. And New Trier, this is only their, Fenwick, this is their 9th season. So that's a combined 12 years of experience. And both teams are here playing for a state championship. It's amazing.
The thing that is amazing, the two coaches, Dave Power for Fenwick High School, that business-like approach. He's had this goal all season long. He won a state championship with Immaculate Heart of Mary earlier on in his career. On the other side, Mike Williams, hey, he's just having a ball, and it rubs off on both of their teams.
Absolutely, and Mike Williams talked a lot about leading by example. He said if he's uptight, his kids are going to be uptight. But, you know, he's carefree, his kids are laughing, and they're having a good time. And I think they're kind of living by the motto, play hard and have fun.
You know, the wonderful thing when you get down to the state championship game, you have to have other players that contribute. We've seen Erin Lawless for Fenwick just have an outstanding tournament. This is a sophomore that will be she is already an All-Stater. She will likely be an All-American. She's showing why here in the tournament.
Oh, Erin Lawless is definitely a great player, and I think she'll be one to watch also.
All right, are you ready? We certainly are. We'll come back to Redbird Arena, but first, these words from your local stations. At Redbird Arena, and why not? We crown a girls class AA state champion, and that will be moments away. But first, let's go down to the sidelines and hook it up with Lisa Prati. Lisa?
Thanks, Dave. We have a lot of excitement taking place right here at Neuqua Valley, and joining me is the athletic director, Barb Barros, and this has to be really exciting for you. 3-year varsity program in its 3rd year going downstate.
It's really exciting. We're all excited to be here at the hall. You can see our fans. We have great attendance tonight, a lot of support from the community, and it's very exciting for Neuqua Valley. Mike and his staff has done a great job. The kids have committed themselves so much to this program. We're very, very proud of them.
Talk a little bit about some of the players, especially someone like a freshman, Lindsay Wisdom.
Lindsay's really shined the last couple of days. She's really done a great job. She's really hustled with the team, but you know what? It's not always about one player for us. It is about the entire team. We've talked about it from the freshmen, sophomores, JVs, and varsity kids. It's about program at Neuqua Valley, and we're really proud to be here.
Well, you know what? I really look at Renisha Baldwin, and I see her, and I think she's playing injured. You can tell that she's hurt out there, but what is her actual condition with her knee?
Well, I know she has a little bit of a tear there on her medial collateral ligament, and right now she's just playing on pure adrenaline and dedication to the program, a lot of guts.
Well, you can tell a lot of the players are doing that, and obviously this is all going to be adrenaline tonight, being the state championship game. But what happened in between? You had about 3 or 4 hours in between the semifinal game and tonight's championship game. What did you guys do?
Well, I know coaches took them out to get a little something to eat and just to have a lot of downtime, relax. They're a very calm team. They enjoy being here and doing everything, but they're relaxed. They're ready to play.
Barb, thank you very much. Of course, Neuqua Valley very excited, and in just moments you're going to be able to see this place go up in arms with the excitement. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you very much, Lisa, and what a special night it is. Of course, state championship play, thousands of people here at Redbird Arena. But this is a culmination of 25 years of state championships for the girls basketball. Here is your all-time 25-year Class A girls basketball team. Numbers: Hassenmiller, Carey, Hochheider. You know, let's stop at Hassenmiller just for a second. Beth does not go by that name anymore. That's a very familiar name, Stacy, here at the IHSA.
Yes, her name is actually Beth Sauser now. That's her married name. Been knowing Beth for a long time. She played at DePaul, was a great player.
The coaches select these players, and media selects Carey, Hessmiller, Hochheider, Kaufman, and Kingler. Of course, this Class A basketball, as far as AA is concerned, familiar names as well. Boswell, Ketchings, Coleman, Gant, Zdenovich, this is a team, when you start thinking about it, the 25-year history, you just really start feeling it here.
Absolutely, and that's what this atmosphere is all about, and it's all about women's basketball going to the next level, to actually be able to name an all-time team. It just shows how far the sport has come.
Another thing that shows how far, and it's right on your screen right now. 25 years ago, I don't know that you would have seen this sort of spirit at a state championship game. The first state championship 25 years ago here at Illinois State University. I'll tell you what, they are into it here on both sides.
Absolutely. The fans are kind of battling back and forth. I mean, it's really neat to see boys with their faces painted at a girls' game, you know.
It's interesting how the IHSA has put the teams together here, you know, in different sections of the arena. As I said in the open, you have Fenwick, and right next to them you have Neuqua Valley. Along with Galesburg, they've been the most boisterous fans. This is the road that you have to take, and you notice that to get from Fenwick, which is in Oak Park, you may have to sneak by Naperville and Neuqua Valley. These two teams have been very much aware of each other all season long, both in the northern part of the state. They've kept an eye on each other, and why not? Why wouldn't you keep an eye on Fenwick? At one point in the season, they were the nation's #1 team. Right now, they sit at number 18.
And with Neuqua Valley, they haven't been ranked all season, but they are actually here in the state championship game, and it's got to be extremely exciting for the kids of Neuqua Valley.
You know, you say sometimes, well, they're just happy to be here. I think Neuqua Valley just flat out is just happy.
I think they're happy, and I think that you know, that comes from their coach Mike Williams. But you know, I think if you've come this far, you don't want to stop it there.
As far as the coaches, we talked about Dave Power. He won a championship with Immaculate Heart of Mary in 1988, third place in 1990. Last year, he finished third with Fenwick. They've taken that one additional step, and there's that level. It's not the joyful level, but it's that confident feeling that you just feel with Fenwick when they take the floor.
Absolutely. They're all about business, and they have 2 seniors that are going Division I right now, and I think they're ready to play.
Earlier on this afternoon, of course, we had semifinal play, and we honor our scholar athletes. You see Shayna Franklin out of New Trier. She had a big game, by the way, in the third place game, a game that was won by New Trier over Galesburg, 65-45. There you see Shayna, a junior on the student athlete leadership team. She's still got some time to decide exactly what she wants to do with her career beyond high school. So the Midwest Dairy Association, on behalf of your local dairy farmer, says to Shayna Franklin, ah, the power of cheese. As far as Galesburg is concerned, they can get the power of cheese as well in the form of Rachel Bicego. Pretty good class rank there at 3.8. Headed to Iowa State to study graphics design. Doesn't get much better than that. Who's Who National Honor Society softball player. And to Rachel, we say, Stacy.
Ah, the power of cheese.
That's from your Midwest Dairy Association. And you know, it's great. It is absolutely great that we can sit here and honor the scholar athletes, the people that put in all that time. Their athletic career will be culminated tonight. Their academic career continues.
Absolutely, Dave. I think that's really important in women's athletics overall. You know, if you go on to the next level, which is college, you know, you're preparing to make a future for yourself. And even if you go on to the next level after that, which is professional, you know, there's no multi-million-dollar contracts at this point in time. So a lot of women, you know, they understand the importance of getting an education and, you know, being prepared for life after athletics. And I think you see that, like, there are lawyers in the WNBA. I mean, that's kind of a neat thing to say that, yeah, I'm a professional basketball player, but I'm also a lawyer.
We come back, though, to the hardwood right here at Redbird Arena. You talk about playing collegiate basketball as you did with Purdue. You've been involved in the professional game, but yet playing for a state championship, nobody ever takes that away from you. And you hear the professional athletes say, I remember when we played for the state championship.
Absolutely. There's got to be no better feeling than this, and especially for the kids from Neuqua Valley. Who would have expected them to be here? And they're here.
A storybook season for one of these two teams will culminate. The season ended just moments ago for New Trier and Galesburg. There is your third place score. New Trier having their way with Galesburg. Tough day for the Silver Streaks from Galesburg for the second straight year. They will take home the 4th place trophy, but for the 5th time in 6 years, Galesburg brings home some big hardware. Congratulations to both of those two teams. The biggest trophy of them all, though, awaits either Fenwick or Neuqua Valley. Their cheerleaders have been here. Their fans have been here. Somebody in 32 minutes of basketball will have this thing sitting in their trophy case come Monday morning. We are happy that you are joining us here in the IHSA Television Network. It is the ultimate moment in girls high school basketball in the state of Illinois. People waited through that third place game. They are now ready. They have bided their time. Dave Power has his club ready. On the other side, the Wildcats from Neuqua Valley, they are ready, and we are ready for the national anthem. Tonight, sung by Janai Bruger from Hinsdale South High School.
In the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Here on championship night, Janai Bruger from Hinsdale South High School. And let's keep it going. Let's meet the starting lineup for tonight's championship game. And for that, we go to our public address announcer at Redbird Arena, Jeff Fritzen.
For the 2001 IHSA Class AA Girls State Championship. First from Neuqua Valley, a 5'8" junior, number 12, Jenna Cylinder. From Fenwick, a 5'6" freshman, number 5, Kristen Heidloff. For Neuqua Valley, a 5'10" junior, number 15, Laura Laurent. For Fenwick, a 5'10" senior, number 13, Amy Atchison. For Neuqua Valley, a 5'6" senior, number 23, Arnisha Baldwin. For Fenwick, a 5'9" senior, number 22, Claudette Howard. For Neuqua Valley, a 6'2" freshman, number 32, Lindsay Wisdom. For Fenwick, a 6'4" senior, number 24, Sarah Kwasinski. For Neuqua Valley, a 5'10" senior, number 44, Cassie Stark. And for Fenwick, a 6'2" sophomore, number 34, Aaron Lawless. Neuqua Valley's Wildcats bring a 30-5 record into the championship game. They're coached by Mike Williams in his third year with a record of 70 wins, 28 losses. The Fenwick Friars bring a 35-2 record into the game. They're coached by Dave Power in his 9th year with a record of 182 and 81. The officials for the 2001 championship game, Bob Franken from Peoria, Jerry Pells from Decatur, and Todd Healy from Bartonville.
One of these two teams will bring home their first girls state championship. Dave Power, the head coach from Fenwick, he has one. He knows what it's like. He wants to do it in the city of Oak Park, the school of Fenwick High School for his Friars. Starting lineups tonight, Fenwick 35-2, Neuqua Valley 30 wins and 5 losses. Here are the Wildcats, the way they'll go. Jenna Cylinder, Arnisha Baldwin, she's been banged up. Her knee is badly injured. She's a warrior. Laura Laurent, we've talked about Cassie Stark and Lindsay Wisdom. On the other side, a team with only 2 losses on the year, a freshman point guard, Kristen Heidloff. Claudette Towers, she got the Friars jump-started in the semifinals. Amy Atchison does it all. Aaron Lawless Sarah Kwasinski, we've talked about them. Stacy, let's get it going.
Let's get it going. Ready for a great game here. This should be pretty exciting one here, Dave.
Robert Franken, Todd Healy, and Jerome Pels, your championship game referees. Both these teams in the semifinals did the identical thing, and that was jump out early. How important is that here tonight?
That's going to be crucial for both teams. I mean, that's going to be really a key for Neuqua Valley because they don't want to get their spirits broken early.
Fenwick in the light gray jerseys. They started with Towers inside. Lawless doesn't take long to get it inside. Kwasinski.
First play of the game, you see that they don't box out, and that's going to cause them problems if they don't correct that.
Stark will break the pressure to the hoop and underside of the rim. Fenwick will break if they have it. Now, this is a very good Neuqua Valley team defensively. They've only allowed 35 points per game. In and out, 3 on the way. Book it.
Big shot by a freshman right there. Kristen Heitloff just knocks down that shot like she's been here before.
A 3-on-2 for the Wildcats. Laurent answers.
Back at you on the other end.
That may be a bigger basket than we can even imagine, just to get this little mini run stopped.
Absolutely, and especially for a player like Laura Laurent, they're really going to need her to step up her game.
You will see changing defenses from Neuqua Valley, and there's a steal from Baldwin. Nice job by Towers, back defensively. Stark, baseline. Forced out of bounds by Kwasinski. The turnover will give it to the Friars.
Neuqua Valley's going to have to be clicking on all cylinders tonight in order to stay in this game with Fenwick. Fenwick is just a tough and experienced team.
As well as Neuqua Valley played today in the semifinals, Mike Williams, their head coach, said we will have to duplicate that to beat Fenwick here tonight.
And that's a lot to ask, but I think the kids are ready. They're excited, and
but that's tough to stop. You go Kwasinski to Aaron Lawless.
Right, and the only player they have over 6 feet out here is a freshman, and she's not even really a post player, so they're going to have a tough time battling that inside play.
Jenna Sillendahl with the bucket. Makes it a 3-point lead for Fenwick. Claudette Towers. Amy Atchison on the long skip to Heidloff. Very steady, solid point guard, a freshman. Atchison has it blocked by Wisdom. But there's Towers. She's so strong inside. And already 4 of the 5 starters have scored for Fenwick.
That's another big shot right in the interior, and it's from a player that's not a post player. So Neuqua Valley has to box out.
Wisdom may have rushed that shot. She had a pretty good look. 5-point lead, looking for more. Heidloff again.
They cannot let Heidloff get off to that kind of a start as a freshman out on the court.
Mike Williams will take a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, Neuqua Valley doesn't look as up as they were for the last game. I was even watching them when they were coming out, just being introduced. They were kind of walking out as opposed to Fenwick was running out there, and they were really pumped up for this game. Neuqua Valley, I don't know if they're a little tired or a little bit nervous now. Maybe they actually realize, oh boy, we're now playing for a state championship.
I would say yes and yes. Nervous, certainly. That almost goes without saying. But remember, these two teams played earlier today. Neuqua Valley had the second game. Here are your team matchups offensively. Again, we talked about the rebounds, the size goes in Fenwick's favor.
Yeah, the biggest thing that stands out here is the matchups and as the rebounds. Fenwick out-rebounds most of their opponents by almost, over 20 rebounds. That's a lot to compensate for. And a lot of those they get putbacks on it because some of those are offensive rebounds.
Other than that, these two teams statistically pretty well matched up. Following the 30-second timeout, see how the Wildcats approach this offensive set.
Fenwick's in a 2-3 zone right now. You can see they're covering and trying to trap in the corners.
The kick out to Sillendahl. There's Kwasinski. They go to the left corner to Heidloff. They'll keep an eye on her. The drop to Kwasinski. She walked. Had that little bobble with the left hand and her feet shuffled.
I think Mike Williams has his kids sagging in the middle a little bit to help off down low with Kwasinski, but you can't leave Heidloff open, so it's kind of a catch-22 right there.
The other question is, how do you deny that entry pass to Kwasinski? Trailing by 5 with 4:40 to play here in the first quarter. Wildcats from Neuqua Valley with it. Arnisha Baldwin to Laurent. The block from Kwasinski. They will reset. Here comes Baldwin. She takes a tumble. Claudette Towers on the move. Numbers in the favor of the Friars. Towers, yes!
That's nothing but experience right there. They know where each other, they know where they're going to be. And that pass right there, she just lobbed it up, got it right back. A little give and go.
Back on the other end, we saw Arnisha Baldwin hit the deck hard. We saw that about 3 times in the semifinals earlier today. She has a torn medial collateral ligament, and yet she is out there fighting her way through it.
Absolutely, and like you said before, Arnisha Baldwin is just a warrior out there.
There you have it, the very best internet coverage of high school sports anywhere. www.ihsa.org. Anything you want to know in the state of Illinois as far as high school athletics are concerned, that's your address. Pekin High School Band, our pep band of the day. Mount Vernon was yesterday. Pekin, of course, winning that honor here today for the girls' championship finals. Well, Fenwick, a 15-4 lead. They've put on an 8-2 run over the last 2 minutes and 4 seconds and have gotten off to that good start that they've needed to. They sit in their zone. Neuqua a little bit hesitant here. There's the good passing the Wildcats are known for. Laurent off the iron for a 3, and here comes Towers. Kwasinski, lawless. Everything right, but the final result.
That's right. I think Neuqua's doing a good job of getting the first pass. They're getting to the first pass inside, but then someone's cutting and they're missing an assignment.
Laurent is taking the majority of shots here. Misfires on that one. Wildcats just 2 of 9 from the field. On the other side, Fenwick has hit 6 of their 9 field goal attempts. Every time they look inside one way or another, from high to low, from out to in.
And they have Erin Lawless kind of running a little short corner. She runs to the short corner, gets the pass, and then Kwasinski cuts to the middle, right to the basket, or the other way around.
Well, that time called on Lindsay Wisdom inside. First substitution of the game for Neuqua Valley is Christina Baumann, 5'8" junior. Here's Heidloff. She has 2 threes already. Good work inside from Atchison. It will not go. She'll shoot 2.
Offensive rebounds are going to kill Neuqua Valley. They've got to box out and just put a body on somebody before you go out for the rebound, because you're going to be out jumped. But if you put a body on someone, you have a better chance of getting the rebound.
Amy Atchison, your ultimate role player. A 5.1 point per game scoring average. She does rebound over 8 per game.
Amy Atchison does all the little things that coaches love to see. They may not show up on the stat sheets, but she gets them done and she makes a lot of things happen.
She makes everybody on that floor better because of those little things.
Absolutely, absolutely. She deflects passes, gets steals. She makes a lot happen for the team.
Did not get either one of those free throws to go down, however. Stark tries to push it. Neuqua Valley looking for their first points in over 3 minutes. They will not get it on this trip.
Neuqua Valley looks a little bit frazzled right now. They don't look to be the same kind of confident that they were before, and maybe it's because they're matched up with a powerhouse right now.
You only have to pick up the newspapers to see how powerful Fenwick is, as if they haven't seen it in the tournament.
That's a good block right there by Lindsay Wisdom.
Towers with the pick. A 2-on-3 behind the back. and Heidloff comes away with the board. Smallest player on the floor.
Another offensive rebound, Dave. They're going to get killed if they keep letting that happen.
And look at how Kwasinski is able to hold that ball. She stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, and then holds the ball above her head and surveys the entire court.
Absolutely, and no one can stop that entry pass. She's 6'4", and with her arms extended, she's about 7'2".
Bauman will have a seat. The ball is picked off by Wisdom. She had 5 steals in the semifinal win earlier today.
Lindsay Wisdom actually isn't backing down to Kwasinski or Lawless in the middle. It just seems that once she is there defensively, the next person needs to step up.
Wisdom has it. Baldwin can't get anything to go. It's one shot and out. Right now, Fenwick out rebounding Neuqua 9-6. And there's your points in the paint. Not a big surprise. Fenwick 8-zip on Neuqua Valley. They give it to Heidloff again. She has 3 3-pointers in the first quarter.
Wow, those are huge shots. Huge shots. First time down here at State. 14-year-old freshman. That's amazing.
14 is the magic number. That's the Friars' lead here in the first quarter. 1:15 to play. Wisdom baseline stops and pops.
Wisdom.
First bucket of the day tonight for Wisdom. Atchison, they leave her open. That time Heidloff climbed Lawrence back, no doubt about it.
Still, Dave, they're in position for offensive rebounds, and Neuqua Valley's got to really focus on trying to keep them off the boards.
Before that last bucket by Wisdom, the Wildcats have been scoreless for 5 minutes and 7 seconds. Now that was something they were able to force on Galesburg in the semifinals today, but here it comes back to bite them in the championship game. A 12-point difference. Cylindahl open momentarily. Wisdom. Punched out of there, will stay on this end.
Now that's exactly what Mike Williams wants his Wildcats to do. They drew Kwasinski and Lawless out in the corner for a trap, and it opened up the inside.
We'll see if the Wildcats look to wind this clock down. They've not had that smooth passing game, and one of the reasons why, Claudette Towers. Just a moment's hesitation, and all of a sudden it comes back and hurts them.
Absolutely. They were trying to be really patient, and Towers is just an excellent defensive player. Knocks the ball loose and headed the other way.
Now the Friars will get the last opportunity. Heidloff. Kwasinski, a chance at the buzzer.
Offensive rebounds, offensive rebounds. That is the key.
All first quarter for Fenwick after 1:26 Friars. We'll be back after these words from your local station.
Welcome back to the girls class AA championship game. Right now, Fenwick in the lead 20-6. I had a chance to sneak over by Coach Mike Williams' bench for Neuqua Valley, and he's trying to explain to his girls, in fact, he's screaming as much as he can and letting them know that they have to get the offensive rebounds. They need to box out because that's definitely hurting them, and you saw that in the first quarter. Dave?
Thank you very much, Lisa. And he's been working on that, as you've been talking about that, Stacy. Inside, you worry about that, but then you look at Kristen Heidloff, the freshman. She's knocked down 3-pointers in the first 8 minutes.
That's right. That's why I was saying it's really a catch-22. You know, you say you need to battle the inside game, but if they can kick it right back out to Heidloff, and she has a shooting night like she's having tonight, you're in trouble.
Will not go for Wisdom. Possession to Fenwick. In the first quarter, Fenwick hit down 8 of 16 shots, 5%, 50%, 3 of 6 from three-point range as well. On the other side, Neuqua Valley was just 3 of 12, 25% shooting in that first quarter. Neuqua Valley cannot find their range from beyond 19 feet, 9 inches. 0 for 4. Told you about Fenwick's 3 of 6. All 3 of those belong to Heidloff. Claudette Towers playing with some energy tonight that we have seen flashes of during this tournament, but she has kicked it into another gear here this evening.
I think Claudette Towers knows this is her last game of her high school career. She's excited about going to DePaul. She just wants to show everybody that, you know, I'm ready. I've been waiting for this and working for it for 4 years, and now this game is ours.
She will trigger to Heidloff. On the skip. Towers with the jumper. And so many weapons. The ball didn't go down, but so many weapons. Atchison has in the corner. She looks at Kwasinski. Not there. Lawless covered. So what we do is we throw it on a skip to Claudette Towers, another Division I player.
That's right. Fenwick is a great half-court team offensively. They execute well. They know what to do. They work their inside-outside. If it's not there, they're very patient also. So they wait until they get a good shot.
It's interesting because head coach Dave Powers says he might be in the minority as far as coaches are concerned because he really works on that offensive game every single day in practice.
Yeah, a lot of coaches stress defense, which, of course, you know, they say defense wins championships, but offensive skills are going to get you there also.
Jenna Sillendahl's offensive skills nets her 3 and makes it an 11-point game. On the baseline drive, Brianne Smiley just off the bench.
Great move to the basket by Smiley. She just goes right in there and finishes nicely.
Wisdom covered up very quickly. Right now, Fenwick defending that perimeter quite well, jumping out, and anybody with it.
Neuqua Valley's got to get a little bit of movement here. They're kind of standing still, and now they have to regroup a little bit.
One of the trademarks of this Neuqua Valley team has been their passing expertise. It's not been evident tonight because they've not been able to. Sillendahl with a block by Kwasinski. You don't simulate that in practice.
Absolutely not. Neuqua tried to get a little bit of movement inside, and Sillendahl just drives. She drives in there, and Kwasinski's there. And like she said, she's been working on not fouling. She's going straight up, and she gets a nice, clean block there.
Wisdom pops out for a missed 3. 1 for 6 from the arc for the Wildcats, who trail by 13. Smiley feels it. Oh my!
Smiley definitely feels it. She was waving across the court. Give me the ball, I'm open. She was ready to take that shot and nails a 3-pointer. 5 points off the bench.
Played all of 45 seconds. That's the 4th 3-pointer here in the first half for Fenwick and the 25-9 lead. And the other way, it's Max.
There's what we've been looking for. Cassie Stark steps up. The senior is trying to keep her team in this ball game.
This is the first point scored tonight by Stark. She comes into this game, into this tournament, averaging 15.7 points per game.
I think Cassie Stark is used to getting some points in the paint, but it's going to be really tough tonight with the Twin Towers in there.
3-on-2 to Wisdom.
That was great execution by Neuqua. Arnisha Baldwin just kind of waited for Wisdom to get there and just gave her a nice little post speed for the layup.
Smiley again. Kwasinski, Lawless, too much. Here's Towers on the offensive boards and converts.
There's that short corner again. They send one post to the short corner, the other one cuts down the lane. And if you box both of them out, you've got to box the guard out also. That's the third basket in the paint for Claudette Towers.
10 points overall scored in the paint tonight by the Friars. The rest of the damage has been a 3-point damage. The cutter is Stark. Nice move. Kwasinski gets a hand on it.
That was a really nice move by Cassie Stark. She was really determined to get a shot off and not get it blocked. And a nice strong post move inside on Kwasinski.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take a break here on the IHSA Television Network.
Welcome back to the IHSA Class AA State Championship for girls. Joining me now is Beth Hassan-Miller-Sauser. She is part of the all 25-year team, and that has to be a real big honor for you.
It's an exceptional feeling to be nominated and then be named to the team. There are many great players throughout the state of Illinois, and to be one of the top 10, it's quite an honor.
Beth played for St. Edward's in Elgin, where you guys won the Class A state championship game in 1985, and she's also now an administrator. Tell me how you became an administrator with the IHSA, and what are your responsibilities?
Became an administrator my second year. There was an opening. I was an athletic director at high school, and I applied, went through the process, and got the job, and I'm in charge of boys and girls tennis, swimming, and soccer.
How much are you enjoying the game tonight?
Oh, this is a wonderful game. To see the competition out here and the talent, it's wonderful.
Thank you very much, and congratulations for being on the all 25-year team.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Dave.
Thank you very much, Lisa, and congratulations to Beth and every honoree on that 25-year team. Lindsay Wisdom, 6 quick points here. Still the 11-point difference, midway point of the second quarter here in the girls' AA state championship.
Neuqua Valley seems to be trying to figure out exactly how we can score points here, and I think that they've kind of found a way. It'd be interesting to see what they do in the second half.
Everybody can knock it down. This is Nicole Rivera. 5 3-pointers in the first half. Smiley and Rivera have come off the bench to knock 2 down after Heidloff hit 3 in the first quarter.
That's right. Fenwick has so many weapons out there, and they play unselfish basketball. And I had a coach tell me, you know, that it's amazing what you can accomplish when no one cares who gets the credit. And all these kids, they share the ball. I mean, they play team basketball, and it's great.
Cassie Stark almost had that one go down. Instead, she will be at the line for a couple of free throws. Her coach calls her the best kept secret in Illinois. She just goes about her business, does it in a solid fashion. Cassie Stark, averaging 16 points a game. She had 17 in the quarterfinals, win over Belleville East. Heidloff will get a rest. And that's one thing the coaches will try to do. As we said, these two teams played just earlier this afternoon, up and down this collegiate floor. The substitution patterns are very, very important here. Wyszynski with another rebound. That's her 5th. 30-17. That's the Fenwick lead with 3:12 to play in the first half. Wisdom cannot stop Wyszynski on the entry. Loose ball to Towers. Rivera back to Towers. In it goes. Wyszynski pops. Rivera. Offensive glass. Wyszynski.
Another offensive rebound.
Mike Williams will be discussing more and more of that in the locker room at the half.
I'm sure he will. He's got to light a fire under his team and really get them to focus. Just focus on offensive rebounding, if nothing else, just to keep themselves in this game.
The Wildcats from Neuqua Valley lucky they did not have more damage done to them on that trip. Stark, baseline, foul.
Actually, on the defensive end, Lindsay Wisdom is not doing a bad job of containing Sarah Kwasinski. She's only got 4 points. You can see right here, Lindsay Wisdom brings the ball up with her point guard skills, and Cassie Stark drives to the basket and draws the foul by Kwasinski.
It's the second personal foul on Kwasinski. She is the only prior with 2 fouls.
I'm sure Coach Mike Williams would love to see Kwasinski in foul trouble. They might get some inside shots off then.
But he will not get the opportunity right now because very quickly Dave Power has said, "You're out of here. I'm bringing Lawless back in."
That's right. Lawless has been a little bit quiet tonight. She hasn't scored very much, but she's still making her presence known out there.
Recall in their semifinal win over New Trier today, Lawless was quiet for a long time, then all of a sudden ended up with 17 points. A couple of free throws for Stark. Pulls it to 11 points.
Mike Williams has extended his defense, and they're trapping now.
Atchison looking to dish first, to score second. We have a foul.
It's an 11-point game, and it's really not as bad as it looks. It's not, you know, 11 points is really not so bad for a team like Neuqua Valley because they do have the potential to make a run at you. Although Fenwick is very experienced and a poised team, Neuqua could still present some problems for them.
First points for Atchison. That means 7 different Fenwick Friars have scored here in the first half. One of the keys to the game was would Fenwick be able to break Neuqua Valley's spirit. They certainly did in the first quarter.
Absolutely. I think they're doing a real good job of that, and we'll see if Neuqua Valley can kind of regroup and try to get some confidence back.
Important final 2 minutes of the half. 32-19. Fenwick with that 13-point advantage. On the boards, just as one would suspect, Fenwick all over Neuqua Valley, 17-9. That's one reason why. One shot and out on this end. On the other end, the offensive boards have belonged to the team in silver. Absolutely.
Those offensive rebounds are killing Neuqua Valley. And as long as they don't box out, it's going to be a long night.
Fenwick will take a full timeout with a minute 37 to play here in the first half. What would Dave Power be thinking right here? I have a 13-point lead. There's only a minute 37 left. Yet I need 60 seconds to talk to you.
I think right now, you know, the coach just wants to say, look, we have the lead, but you can't take anything for granted because on any given night and at any given point of the game, you know, a team can come back on you. And, you know, they really need to keep their poise, handle the pressure that Neuqua puts on them if they do start trapping, and they really need to just stay calm and composed.
There's experience on that bench. The gentleman in that white sweater has done it before. Immaculate Heart of Mary out of Westchester. State champs in '87, back in third place in '89. Back here last year, a third place finish. It was not really what they had in mind with the 35-3 record. This year they've taken the one additional step to get to that championship game. Now they just have 2 quarters and a minute 37 left to claim that first state title. Power second. You know, we were talking earlier before this game started about the painted faces, all the guys coming down to watch the girls. You didn't see cheerleaders come down here 25 years ago when this state tournament started for ladies basketball in Illinois.
Absolutely not. And the fan support and the parents and all the, you know, family, friends, community members, it's great to see for women's basketball and for women's sports overall.
Here comes a trap. They find the open player. And they finish.
That's a great pass. Great pass by Rivera. She just kind of reads the defense and takes her time and makes a great pass inside to Lawless.
Aaron Lawless now with 4 points. The lead has been pushed to 15.
Right, Dave Power has his kids in man. They're in a man now. See if that's going to pose any problems for Neuqua.
Brianne Smiley doesn't like that call. A little bit of a push-off on Smiley. That may be one of my most favorite names this year in girls basketball. Brianne Smiley.
Brianne Smiley.
Not in the bonus. Minute 4 left here in the first half. Where was Baldwin going? She thought Stark was going to break baseline.
There was actually a player open because as Arnisha Baldwin came to the top of the key, 2 players came with her. So there was actually an open player. Just didn't find her.
Underneath the minute to play here in the first half. Fenwick will spread the floor.
The Friars have no reason to rush anything right now and just kind of stall right now and just wait for a good shot as the clock goes down.
A little bit more pressure here near midcourt. Claudette Towers will bring it back up top to Rivera. And they'll start the final 10 seconds right here. Penetration, Towers, dish, Lawless. She goes to the line.
Great penetration by Claudette Towers. She gets right on the edge, gets her shoulder right on the edge of Arnisha Baldwin, and then is able to dish the ball low to Aaron Lawless.
Ellis, a 6'2" sophomore, considered one of the top 30 sophomores in the nation. She is strong, she has a touch. We haven't really seen it so far in the tournament, but she has range to 15 feet.
Yeah, she's knocked down a couple of big shots in the last couple of games, and she's a very versatile player, and she's gonna only get better.
Just 5.2 seconds left. The steal by Atchison. Boy, that could have been a horrible way for Neuqua Valley to go into the locker room. Just a shade under 3 seconds left here. Stark fires, draws glass, but that is it. This first half has been all Fenwick. They came out firing. They held Neuqua Valley off scoreless for almost a 6-minute stretch in the first quarter. They have built a 14-point first quarter lead into a 16-point halftime advantage, and their fans are loving it.
Dave, I'm looking for that same excitement and enthusiasm that we've seen from Neuqua Valley, and right now they look so flat. I'm not really sure what's going on in their heads, if it's just being nervous or what, but they look really, really flat, and they need to have fun like they've been doing. That's what's gotten them here.
They make their way into their locker room to the south end, to the north end. That's where Neuqua Valley is going, and at the north end of arena is Lisa Prati. Lisa?
I'm here with head coach Mike Williams of Neuqua Valley. And coach, your team's struggling right now with the offensive rebounds and the putback. What are you going to tell them here for the second half?
I'm going to see if they can give them something to grow about 4 more inches each, and we can compete with them. I mean, Fenwick, you see why they're ranked nationally, and I mean, they're one of the best teams right now. You know, we're having a hard time on the boards, and we're nervous. We're back to square one again, I think is what it is, and we're scared, but you know, we're hanging in there. We're only down 16, I mean, what, 15, 14, 16 points. We'll be okay. Hey, we're happy to be here.
Thanks, coach. I appreciate it. Right now, the score is Fenwick 35, Neuqua Valley 19. I'll send it back to Dave and Stacy.
Thank you very much, Lisa. 35-19 your halftime score, and we will take a break. Back after this on the Illinois High School Association Television Network. Let's go courtside now for the presentation of the 3rd and 4th place awards and medals.
Assistant coach Michael Rux. Assistant coach Jay Barshinger. Manager Nikki Berry. Manager Morgan McCune. And now the Silver Streak players, number 22, Jenna Bisigo. 40, Brittany Steffen. Number 3, Elizabeth Hausline. Number 10, Casey Berry. Number 12, Annie Parkin. Number 24, Amanda Gunther. 42, Allison Bachman. 20, Melissa Pacheco. 54, Tracy Larson. Number 4, Shannon Williams. Number 50, Ashley Shepard. Number 14, Rachel Bisigo. Number 34, Chanel Jackson. And number 32, Sarah Pacheco. At this time, please meet the Trevians of New Trier High School, who finished the 2001 season in 3rd place with a final record of 30 wins, 8 losses. First meet the principal of New Trier High School, Wes Ballman. Assistant Athletic Director, Lee Kanicki. Head coach, Terry Rogers. Assistant coach, Marty Laffey. Assistant coach, David Yelmgren. And the Trevian players, number 2, Caitlin Dahl. Number 4, Lisa Georgiorian. Number 5, Nell Compernall. Number 10, Lauren Lubin. Number 11, Jenna Skatulski. Number 12, Nora Quish. Number 14, Jenna Williams. Number 20, Sadie DeBrosi. Number 21, Meredith McNitt. 22, Didi Oniaka. 23, Felice Parada. 25, Megan Slattery. 32, Jesse Foreman. Number 33, Shayna Franklin. Number 35, Alexis Printon. Number 44, Monica Slota. And number 45, Allison Stewart. Will coach Evan Massey and the captains of Galesburg High School please step forward to receive the 4th place trophy. And now, will coach Terry Rogers and the captains of New Trier High School please step forward to receive the 3rd place trophy.
New Trier, your 3rd place finisher in Class AA, 65-45 winners over Galesburg in the 3rd place game tonight. For Galesburg, they picked up their 5th piece of hardware in the last 6 years. We've got more coming up from Redbird Arena, but first, these words from your local station. Halftime lead belongs to the Fenwick Friars by 16 over Neuqua Valley. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Redbird Arena. I'm Dave Bernhardt along with Stacy Carney, and it's been a dominating performance here in the first half by Fenwick, both on the scoreboard and both on the stat sheet as well.
Absolutely. The rebounding has really been the key for Fenwick. They've been out rebounding the Neuqua Valley Wildcats. Actually, it's only 5 rebounds. That's not as bad as it seems, but there have been a lot of offensive rebounds, which have led to a lot of second shots. Field goals, that is really the stat of the game. 13 for 28. So they're shooting quite well.
Neuqua Valley will have to turn that around here as half number 2 approaches. You stay right there because we are going to first show you the top scorers in today's first half of play. Lindsay Wisdom, the freshman, the senior Cassie Stark with 6 each. Kristen Heidloff, 9 points, all on 3-pointers in the first quarter of play. More coming up here from Redbird Arena, but first, we go to your local stations for this message.
I'm here with Dave Power, head coach of Fenwick, and coach, team doing an excellent job against Neuqua Valley when you talk about defense, not allowing them the inside shot as well as the offensive rebound.
That's true. We've stopped the inside game pretty well. I was surprised at our 3-pointers. Neuqua was a great 3-point. Our guards came in and they lit the gym up with those 3-pointers. So hopefully we get the inside and outside game going the second half. We just hold our own there. But yes, defensively, they haven't got much of the inside at all. We got to keep that up.
Great, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're watching all the action here for the Class AA State Girls Basketball action. It's all taking place right here at Redbird Arena. I'll send it back to Dave.
Thank you very much, Lisa. And yes, that is a surprise, Dave Power, as far as those 3-point bombs. Highlights in the first half, well, you'd have to figure they belong on the Fenwick side. But Neuqua Valley, they made some things happen too. Freshman Lindsay Wisdom.
That's right. Lindsay Wisdom has been a key player all tournament. And what they do there, they just kind of draw Kwasinski and Lawless out to the side so that Wisdom can get a shot on the inside.
But here you go, coming off the bench, Nicole Rivera with the bomb.
That's right. They're shooting over 50% from three-point line in the first half. That's amazing right there.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball coming up. But this is the IHSA Television Network. Back after this. We are 16 minutes away from crowning the Class AA girls basketball champion here in the 25-year history of girls basketball in the state of Illinois. Welcome back to Redbird Arena on the campus of Illinois State University with Stacy Carney and Lisa Prati. I'm Dave Bernhard. There is your score as we begin third quarter play. The Fenwick Friars looking for their first state championship in girls basketball. Aaron Wallace. Oh my goodness, you've got to be kidding me. Dave Power talks about he can't believe how his guards are stepping out, and there's Lawless.
There's the inside-outside game he was talking about. I don't think he was really talking about Lawless shooting threes, but if it works, it works.
And it's her fourth three-pointer of the season. One of those magical nights here for Fenwick. They've doubled up Neuqua Valley at 38-19. Nothing there in the baseline for start. Arnisha Baldwin tries it from there. Nobody in rebounding position.
No, and when Cassie Stark had the ball, she was driving baseline. She drew both Kwasinski and Lawless. And when you do that, you need someone to cut through the middle of the lane to try to get an easy basket while you have both of your twin towers outside of the paint.
I think one of the reasons we've not seen as much cutting is I really believe Neuqua Valley is physically tired in their game this afternoon. There's Kwasinski inside for 6 points. Makes it a 40-19 Fenwick lead. They played the second semifinal game, Neuqua Valley did. They did not have much rest.
Dave, I agree with you. They look tired. They look like they're just drained and probably emotionally drained. It's got to be such a high just to be down here. But to have to play against Fenwick after a tough game this afternoon, it's got to be tough.
The loose ball rebound comes out to Neuqua Valley. Laura Laurent was firing on that first three. Nice little fake there by Wisdom. I think she was a little bit surprised that Lawless bit on it.
That's what it looked like. It looked like she was going to try to dribble through them and get to the basket, but the ball was kicked away.
There are your twin towers, 6 feet 4 inches, 6 feet 2 inches, 25 points between them, 21 rebounds per game. That is game after game after game over a 37-game season.
That's right, and that's hard to stop with anybody on the high school level. That's hard to stop on the college level, let alone high school.
There's not too many teams around that can match you at 6'2", 6'4". Those are a pair of all-staters on this floor. Wisdom keeps it alive. Stark has it blocked by Lawless. The ball, though, stays at this end. And a push on Atchison.
Cassie Stark is a real physical player. And, you know, she knows she's got to try to make something happen for this team. She is one of their leaders, and, you know, she sees that this game is getting out of control.
Heidloff misses on the steal attempt. Long one, Wisdom, no. Finally, the ball goes the other way, and Neuqua Valley scoreless here in the first 2.5 minutes of this third quarter. Notice that Neuqua's set back in their zone here in this game. Timeout called by Dave Power.
Absolutely. Mike Williams talks about, you know, the thing that got them here was their pressure defense, and right now they're just kind of sitting back in their zone.
We've got more coming up here in a state championship game, coming up after these words from your local stations. It is madness, madness, I tell you, here in March in the state of Illinois. Coming up the next 2 weekends, we shift to Peoria, we shift to boys action. Next Friday, March 9th, quarterfinals, boys Class AA. And then we crown a Class A state champion on the boys' side. Saturday, March 10th, coming to you from Peoria. And then the following weekend, we stay in Peoria. The AA basketball championships, Friday and Saturday, and also we will crown a Country Insurance King of the Hill. So don't go anywhere. Get out to Peoria. If you don't get it to Peoria, get it right here on the IHSA Television Network. 21-point lead, the biggest of the night for Fenwick. They have held Neuqua Valley scoreless for the last 5 minutes, and that stretches now for Neuqua Valley, where they have been scoreless for over 10 minutes combined.
Once again, that's great defense by Neuqua Valley on the inside. They just have to try to combat the outside game right now.
Christina Baumann checks in for Neuqua Valley. She'll give it off to Wisdom. Stark uses the dribble. Not a good place to be for Laurent. It's the best she can do.
Not at all, and that's what I'm saying. When they get them trapped right there in the corner, you've drawn 2 post players out. You've got to have somebody step up and get open.
The open player here is Towers. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful spinning move for Towers. How very deceptive she is. She has the big, strong body, but she has acceleration, a change of speed, the moves that make her so tough.
Absolutely. She's not one of those players that's just going to out-quick you all the time, but she's really deceptive with her speed. She does have some moves to her, too.
7 points tonight for Towers, 3 of 5 from the field. She's hit on both for free throws now for 8 points. Heidloff with 9. Those 3-pointers for Kristen in the first quarter have stood up for team scoring honors. 8 each from Towers and Lawless, 6 from Kwasinski. There's the balance that Fenwick has been known for this year. 1 offensive rebound, 2 offensive rebounds. Kwasinski finishes.
Big finish, even with a little bit of a bump there. Another great post speed, Claudette Towers. She's going to be a good player at the next level, and I can just see her really flourishing in Coach Doug Bruno's system at DePaul. She's the kind of player that can break you down and can make a lot of things happen.
24-point lead, the biggest of the night. Fenwick here, midway point of the third quarter, can absolutely blow this one open here. It's 43-19. Kwasinski stays with it.
Neuqua Valley is outmatched right now, and they're tired. They look physically just drained. They have nothing left. I think they've exerted so much energy just getting here. They have nothing left.
You have nothing left in your legs. You go against 2 All-Staters that are taller than anybody on your team. It's not a good feeling that Mike Williams and the Neuqua Valley fans have right now.
Absolutely not. I mean, their fans are really quiet right now. The kids on the bench, you know, they don't really have anything to cheer about right now.
Fenwick got off to a great start. They were the nation's #1 team, working on a 12-game streak. The next game would bring them a state championship, the next win. About 11 and a half minutes away from that. Nice little give and go to Baumann.
That's the action they need right there when they draw Kwasinski and Lawless to the corner. That was a good cut, just missed the shot.
Fenwick has scored the last 10 points of this game. A 26-point lead. And as wild as Redbird Arena was about an hour ago, everybody's just kind of sitting back right now. Atchison will bring it the other way. 25-17 rebounding margin. That's the advantage here that Fenwick has. And it's not getting any prettier as far as Neuqua Valley is concerned, but for Fenwick, they are putting on a show.
Yes, they are, and there's that inside-outside game with Kwasinski at the high post and Lawless at the low post.
Stark keeps working inside, but nothing drops. Still scoreless here in the third quarter. It was a 35-19 lead at the end of the half, and you can't stop them now. Lawless now with 12.
It'll be interesting to see what happens next year because Fenwick really thrives on that inside-outside game, and without Kwasinski there, there's just Lawless. We'll see what young players step up next year so they can still maintain that inside-outside game.
A 30-point lead at 49-19. And right now, the Friars are just carving up that defense of Neuqua Valley.
Yeah, Heidloff makes a nice interior pass, and Lawless just sweeps the ball low and takes it right to the basket. Nice, strong move inside. Great finisher.
So things weren't bad enough tonight for Neuqua Valley. Mike Williams knew it. He came in. He was the underdog. I mean, he said in the pregame and in the postgame for the semifinals, hey, you know what? We're happy to be here. We're going to play one of the nation's top teams. But I think the thing that really set them back on their heels is when those three-pointers went down early in the first quarter for Fenwick. Heideloff, I thought, changed the whole complexion of this game, turned it completely inside out.
Absolutely, Dave, and I think that was the thing that has broken their spirit. Those three-pointers early on, you know, once you get up 9 points, you get 9 quick points right there off the three-pointers. That really hurts.
That's making a program go. First 2 years, 1 and 9. Of course, the Fenwick girls program has only been around 9 years. That school has only been co-ed for 9 years. You go 1 and 9 and 6 and 18. Dave Power comes in, 103 and 7. Not too bad, moments away from the state championship.
That's right, Dave. I think about building a program. I mean, coaches that can actually build programs and not just have winning teams every once in a while, those are special coaches. I think they put in a lot of time and effort and really teach the game of basketball.
It's no coincidence that Power already at the state championship at another school at Immaculate Heart of Mary.
Absolutely. Good coaches can do it with all kinds of players.
Now Power will bring in some new players into the game. Raymond Kingler, she wears number 12. Nicole Rivera has the ball now. She had a three-pointer in the first half. Wazinski, too lawless. And even a tip ends up in the hands of Fenwick.
Great pass. It's a great pass by Kingler. Looked like she was going to shoot the three-pointer, and she just lobs it up for Kozinski.
Like you said, it doesn't matter at Fenwick who does the scoring. Kingler had a chance, of course, to, with the big lead, put myself in the scorebook here in the state championship game. He said, no, that's not how we play it.
Team basketball.
51-19, that's right. State championship game. Fenwick showing what they are all about. And we have a whistle underneath. 1 minute, 8 seconds left here in the third quarter. Neuqua Valley has not scored. They are in danger of tying the tournament record of no points scored in a quarter.
Raymond Kingler, her first personal, third team foul.
I didn't expect for this game to be close, but I didn't expect for it to get this out of hand either.
Now, this is not really what the fans in Naperville want to do, the drive home, but yet there you go. Look at the smile from Wisdom as she comes off the floor.
That's right. She's got a lot of years of basketball to play still.
Okay, so we get off that 0 mark. We hit the 3. Meredith Tice does the damage.
I think Meredith heard you say that they might be in the record book for not scoring in the quarter.
The lob inside, Kwasinski, and they're having a field day inside. 10 points in the quarter for Kwasinski. Tice wanted another. Brianne Smiley will turn it the other way. On the skip and out of bounds. With 27 seconds left. Well, Neuqua Valley not out of the woods yet. Okay, Stacy? They do have another record they are in danger of setting, and that's the fewest points in a quarter in the title game. That was set by Peoria Richwoods in the fourth quarter 1981, York in the third quarter in 1998. So they need another bucket here in the last 27 seconds to stay out of the record books that way.
Oh, come on, Neuqua. Get a basket here.
Arnisha Baldwin, the shovel to start. Here comes Rivera. She has fresh legs. She goes with the left hand.
Nice move. Nice move by Nicole Rivera. She looks completely confident out there.
Arnisha Baldwin can't get it off. And what a quarter for Fenwick. They lead after 3, 55-22 here in the state title game in Class AA. We'll take a break. You are watching AA basketball on the IHSA TV network. It's a happy bunch of Friars right there in about 8 minutes. They may be much, much happier. Fenwick, 22 of 41 from the field. It's about 54% from the field. On the other side, their defense has done the job, holding Neuqua Valley to just 8 field goals and 33 attempts. That's 24.2%. Friars out rebounding the Wildcats by a 29-18 margin. It is not a surprise when you look at the scoreboard and you find Fenwick on top, 55-22.
That's right, the Friars are out here. They've got extra bounce in their legs right now. Both teams played this afternoon, but, you know, Fenwick, you would never know. They're excited, they're confident, and they feel a state championship well within their reach.
Points in the paint, 28 for Fenwick, 6 for Neuqua Valley. We begin quarter number 4. ball situation, and the ball will go over to Fenwick. Let's go down right now to Lisa Afrati.
Joining me is the principal from Fenwick, 8 years now, James Quaid. And James, this is going to be the first title for the Fenwick Friars.
Yes, we're very excited about it. We've got tremendous support from our students, from our faculty, from our alumni, from our parents. So it's just been a wonderful experience. When the playoffs started, Dave Power won his 500th game. So it's just been, from start to finish, a wonderful experience.
How has the participation been with the community as well as with the parents and fans? Just a bit in the last couple of weeks, just knowing that Fenwick was making it all the way to the quarterfinals.
It's been just absolutely wonderful. I can't tell you how great it's been. They've even surprised us with the support. So I can't say enough nice things about it. It's really brought the whole community together. We had a mass before the game today, and we just had students and parents and friends all come, and we all just talked about the wonderful family feeling we have with them.
You had just commented earlier about how nice it's been here at Illinois State University and what a great job they've done.
You know, we're thrilled with the IHSA and how they've conducted this, and the people at Illinois State are top flight all the way through. So it's been just a tremendous experience.
James, thank you very much. Congratulations to the Friars.
Thank you.
I'll send it back to Dave.
Thank you very much, Lisa. There's 7 minutes and 18 seconds left before Fenwick can make it official. They put their starters in probably for a couple of more trips down this floor here at Redbird Arena. Cassie Stark, though, on the fly. Meredith Tice will rattle it in. There's some fresh legs, Stacy. Tice has made an impact here.
That's right, Tice has. And Mike Williams, you know, after she hit that basket, he looked a little bit more energized. Like, hey, you know, even though we're down by a lot, you know, it's good to get our kids this experience because hopefully they'll be back.
He told everybody 2 years ago, he said, you know what, we're going to be playing down here. People kind of looked at him. Last year, Mike Williams brought his entire Neuqua Valley team down here, and he said, you know, we're not going to sit in the stands next year. We're not going to sit in the stands in 2001. We're going to be playing, and here they are in the state championship game.
That's right, and it's the coach's job to get them prepared, and he's done that. You know, they just have to be a little bit outmatched for this championship game.
Kristen Heidloff hit 3 3-pointers in the first quarter. She knocks one down here and makes it a 34-point difference. Cena Ballman. Atchison will be called for the travel. You know, a lot of the Neuqua Valley fans, of course, have not had anything to cheer about here tonight, but as we glance to our right, we see the Fenwick fans taking up an entire section. They are still standing. Neuqua Valley in danger of their lowest scoring game of the year. The putback goes inside for Meredith Tice.
Tice says, I have live legs. Give me the ball, I'll shoot it.
Kwasinski drops, Lawless.
It's like clockwork right there. They are a well-oiled machine. You can't stop them.
14 points, Lawless. 14 points, Kwasinski. 12 rebounds for Sarah Kwasinski. Heidloff has 12. Come at you from all directions. 60 points on the board with 5:45 to play. And this against a team that only allows 35 points per game. Cynthia Wilson into the ball game. For 45 for Neuqua Valley, she's fouled. Now,
Dave, you were talking a little bit about the Fenwick fans. They actually stand up the entire game. The whole student section's been standing the entire game.
Now that's a group that has fresh legs.
Absolutely.
Heidloff, Atchison, Lawless. They will all have a seat. Now the toughest job of coaching these two coaches will have from this point on is how to figure out how I can get everybody into this state championship game.
That's right. It's just a great feeling to be able to be here and let alone to get on the court. If you can get on the court, whether you win or lose, it's a great experience, one that you'll never forget.
Liz Murai at the line for the Wildcats.
And if you can get in the stat book some kind of way, even if it's just by a foul.
Sarah Kwasinski leads. She leads with 14 points, 12 rebounds. She will leave with a first place championship medal. Murai with the second of 2. Claudette Towers still in the game. She will be out momentarily. Towers with it now. Raymond Kingler is in. Julie Van Grinsven is also in. And here's the steal by Wilson. Wilson got a little bit of playing time earlier today. Blocked by Towers, so say Towers got her.
Towers thought she had a clean block, but the officials thought otherwise. Gave her a little pat on the back after that one.
That's one of those stat things, right? Instead of a block going down in the stat book, it goes down as a personal foul. Cassie Stark with just 6 points here tonight. She's had to battle inside. Nothing has come easily for her. Now Claudette Towers will lead. Towers, right at her season average, 8 points, 6 rebounds. 36 wins for Fenwick. They still have 5:14 to go, but that will tie Loyola for the most wins in the season. That came back just a couple of years ago, 96-97 season. They will finish 36-2.
That's phenomenal.
Man, I was going to say, imagine that.
Especially for the kind of teams that they've played. Their schedule has been one of the toughest schedules in the state, and I mean, I guess that's why they're here. You can only beat the best if you play the best.
Stark on the run, a 3-on-1. Rivera stays back enough to disrupt the play. Jackie Conrad getting ready to come in, but first, we will take a break. You're watching the Girls Class AA Basketball Championships on the IHSA Television Network. Remind you that any rebroadcast or reproduction of these broadcasts without the express written consent of the Illinois High School Association is strictly prohibited. Dave Bernhardt and Stacy Carney here with you here for the Girls Class AA Basketball Championships. Happy you've joined us today. Andrea Randall along with Lisa Prati working the sidelines. It has been an absolute pleasure. And, you know, we heard moments ago from principal at Fenwick High School what a great job Illinois State University does. I would like to second that. And what a great job they, along with the conjunction of the Illinois High School Association, have done here these past 2 weekends.
Absolutely. This is a first-class event. And for a high school girls tournament, I mean, you can't ask for anything better. Great play, you know, the accommodations, everything. It's great people down here.
Raymond Kingler will get her own rebound. Cassie Stark had thoughts of saving it, decided not to, and it ends up costing her. Jackie Conrad comes in. She replaces Nicole Rivera. Look at Dave Powers still working that sideline.
Now at this point, he has his reserves in. He wants them to get the same experience that the starters had. And so he has to keep on coaching them because hopefully, you know, he wants his kids to be here next year also. And they'll need this experience.
Cassie Stark will leave with 4:31 left. She is not happy. No, one thing she will do is forget about tonight and remember her high school career.
Absolutely. Cassie Stark has had a great career. This isn't how she wanted it to end, but, you know, she did get the state championship game.
Cynthia Wilson flying down the floor. Jump ball. Possession will go to Neuqua Valley. Speaking of Cynthia Wilson, we offer our congratulations to her on behalf of the Midwest Area Association. She is our scholar athlete from Neuqua Valley. At that grade point average, 4.0 and a class rank of 51. She is headed to Vanderbilt down in Nashville, Tennessee, considering civil engineering and/or Spanish, an interesting combination there. But it's outside of the classroom as well. Church Youth Forum, president of the National Honor Society in track. Congratulations to Cynthia on behalf of the Midwest Area Association and your local dairy partners. 60-30, midway through the fourth quarter of play. Cynthia picks up the foul. She picks up the award. She picks up the foul.
Neuqua Valley foul on 45. Cynthia Wilson, her first personal.
1 by 1. I like how the coaches are doing this. 1 by 1, bringing people in. Michelle Zatko comes in. Raymond Kingler will sit down for Fenwick.
Right. Dave, coaches like to give kids their own little limelight right at the end of the game if they're going to take them out. So it's kind of a nice thing. Instead of doing a wholesale substitution, give them all their chance.
Courtney Harvey has it on top. Gives off to Zatko. She goes all the way. Too bad, a walk. Dave Power pleading, no, come on.
That was a great move. She did cover a lot of ground in that move, but I'm not so sure that was a travel.
Christina Ballman will bring it up for Neuqua Valley. Megan Ernest has entered the game for the Wildcats. We still have 3 minutes and 39 seconds left, but there is your player of the game, your Country Insurance player of the game, Sarah Kwasinski.
Sarah Kwasinski just, tonight she's done what she's done all season. 14 points on 7 of 11 field goals. I mean, she's shooting a great percentage and 12 rebounds to go along with that, plus 5 assists at 6'4". You can't ask for anything better than that. Northwestern, here comes Sarah Kwasinski.
Country Insurance player of the game. Country Insurance, real people, real answers, real quick. Ballman on the baseline drive. Wilson. The rebound will come off to Erin Walsh. (60-30) as Neuqua Valley, danger of scoring the fewest points in any game this year, but you know what? It's happening in the state championship game. Understand that. They've made it to the state championship. Well, somebody's going to have a big smile on their face. Courtney Harvey, you betcha. Forget that first place trophy. I hit a 3 in the state championship game.
That's right. That's something she'll be talking about all summer long, I'm sure. She's really excited.
Now Neuqua Valley will bring in a host of reserves and they'll make it happen.
32, Margaret Knapp, and 33.
Erin McDowell in for Neuqua Valley along with Allison Swanson.
24, Elora Ube.
Wearing number 33 is Ashley Kalinich.
22, Allison Swanson.
Number 13 is Brittany Glaw.
And 33, Ashley Kalinich.
The foul by Elora Ibe. Triggering the inbounds for Fenwick is Margaret Knapp. In history, every one of these young ladies will have themselves in the official box score of the 25th Girls Championship game in the state of Illinois. You don't take that away from anybody. That is with you for life. Congratulations, ladies.
That's right. This is a big game, 25 years. You just really can't say a whole lot more about being in the 25th annual state championship.
Bodies on the floor, bringing it up is Ashley Kalinich. To Erin McDowell, and the steal by Conrad. One might expect the play to be a little ragged.
And that it is.
Traveling call inside against Julie Van Grinsven.
But that's how players get experience. You have to start somewhere.
Yep. Harvey comes back in, obviously pulling off that right arm after that three-pointer she knocked down. 1:51 left here. It's been an all Fenwick all night from the very beginning. Right now, Neuqua Valley needs 4 more points to stay out of the record book again. The fewest points scored in a title game by any team was 33 against by Peoria Richwoods against Elk Grove Village in 1981. Right now, Neuqua Valley sitting at 30.
Well, with passes like that, they're going to struggle to get there. They've got to take care of the ball. Even though they're young, even though they're down by, 33 points, still, you got to play good, sound basketball.
The bucket goes in for Elizabeth Marino.
Marino's only a sophomore. That was a nice inside move. Maybe she'll be part of that inside-outside the next coming couple of years.
New players in for Fenwick. They include Kwasinski, they include Towers. What you're seeing right now are seniors. The seniors enter the ball game in the final minute 12. Neuqua Valley fans don't understand what's going on right now.
Right. They think that, they think it's kind of rubbing it in by putting their starters back in, but they're putting the seniors in.
Atchison, Van Grimson, Towers, Kwasinski, and Erin Walsh.
And actually, both coaches have just seniors in right now, I believe.
One last time, these people will play together.
Actually, with the exception of Laura Laurent on Neuqua Valley, I think she's a junior. Everyone else on the floor is a senior.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice, nostalgic kind of thing. Remember, the last minute, all seniors out there. It's their last time here.
There's people that are coming back.
That's right. That's right. Look at them. There are those fans again that have been standing up the entire game, chanting "Thank you, seniors." So that's kind of a nice feeling.
Well, for the Fenwick fans, that's going to take a little bit of work to wipe off that black paint on their face.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of cleaning up to do.
65-31, we're under a minute to play. Cynthia Wilson can't get it. Now Kwasinski, she wants to play point guard.
Coach Power should let her do it. It's her last game. Let her shoot a couple threes.
You get Atchison for the walk.
And the awards for first and second place this year's Class AA State Basketball Tournament.
I know as a player, at 5'6", I always wanted to go down in the paint. That wasn't my role, but it's always fun to get out of position, especially with, with a game like this. All seniors on the floor. Let them have a little bit of fun.
The award ceremony will begin immediately after
Wilson will go to start
of the game.
Okay, Arnisha Baldwin back in. Still smiles. And tears.
Tears of joy.
Right there, that is the picture of high school sports. Kristen Heidloff, the smile, the laughter. Aaron Lawless, the tears.
Very
and Mike
true.
Williams, his team is beaten by 34, and he's getting the biggest kick out of it.
Like he said, he's just happy to be here. They're still going to take home a huge piece of hardware. Second place.
I'll take it.
I would have taken it too. Back about 12 years ago.
Neuqua still battling. Jenna Sillendahl. Kwasinski another board. Final 20 seconds in the state championship. Van Grimson gives it up. Sillendahl on the drive. Kwasinski get another board. Van Grimson, one last shot.
Oh!
And there is your 2001 state high school championship in the state of Illinois. It belongs to the Fenwick Friars. They finished their season 36-2. They are the state champs in 2001, 65-32 winners tonight over Neuqua Valley.
The Friars had control of this game from the tip-off, and this has got to be so exciting for them. If you can see them now, they're piled up on the floor, and they've got to be excited for the seniors out there.
And also excited, standing by with Lisa Prati is Dave Power. Lisa?
I'm here with Coach Power, and obviously your team's showing defensively how strong they are. Team did a wonderful job tonight.
Yes, they did. I'm so proud of them. It's been a great season. I'm happy, but I'm sad because it's over. It's been a real pleasure to coach this team. It's been a lot of fun. And it's a dream come true twice for me. 1987, now again here in 2001. I don't know why, but God really blessed us and blessed me personally. It's just a wonderful thing for our Fenwick community. My family's here, my dad, my brother, my family, my son, Aaron, Dave, my wife. It's been a family affair. It's just been a wonderful experience.
Well, this is the first title for Fenwick. Talk a little bit about the fact that last year you took third place. This year it's first.
That's right. This is the one we wanted, the trophy with the net on it, and we were really focused on this year, and this is what we wanted to get done. Coming here with second would have been very tough to take, and being ranked #1, pressure was on us all year, and we handled it very well. And it's when you're expected, it's sometimes harder than you think.
Coach, thank you very much, and congratulations once again, Fenwick, the 2001 Class AA Girls Champs. Dave?
And Lisa, they did it by virtue of the largest margin of victory in any state championship game, AA state championship. 33-point difference, broke the previous record of 30. 500 wins for Dave Power. It doesn't really go with that sweater, Dave, but he'll take it. 500 wins plus a state title. And congratulations to those young ladies from Fenwick. Talk about pressure. Pressure early in the season, ranked #1 in the nation. What a weight that is on your shoulders.
Absolutely, and I think they've worked so hard all season to maintain that status of, okay, we're the team to beat. And it's got to be really tough, especially for, you've got a freshman point guard starting for you. Just for kids like that, you got a sophomore in the paint playing for you, and Aaron Lawless, and they've maintained it. They've kept their composure and remained confident all season, and they were the team to beat, and they've maintained it.
A lot of people thought that state championship game, as far as competitiveness, may have been played Marshall against Fenwick. Indeed, that was a battle. But you had mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. The schedule that Fenwick has played all year, they have not backed down from anybody. They have welcomed anybody to play.
Absolutely, and that's what it takes in order to be a state champion or a champion at any level. You have to take on the best competition in order to be the best.
The big trophy in the state of Illinois belongs to the Fenwick Friars. Their fans will take some credit for it, and indeed they were very boisterous here tonight. But a very special moment took place just a few minutes ago when Neuqua Valley went in front of their fans and they recognized them. Let's go right now down to courtside. Public address announcer Jeff Britson.
Mattingly. Assistant coach Steve Treptow. Assistant coach Dave Brower. And the Wildcat squad members, Brittany Glaw, Aaron McDowell, Ashley Kalinich, Megan Ernest, Elora Ebe, Allison Swanson, Christina Ballman, Meredith Tice, Jenna Sillendahl, Lindsay Wisdom, Laura Laurent, Liz Murray, Kelly Johnson, Cynthia Wilson, Arnisha Baldwin, and Cassie Stark. At this time, please meet the Friars of Fenwick High School, who finished the 2001 season in first place with a final record of 36 wins, 2 losses. First meet the principal of Fenwick High School, Dr. James Quaid. Athletic Director Michael Curtin. Head coach David Power. Assistant coach Jana Mathis. Assistant coach John Weaver. Assistant coach Bill Power. And now the Friars squad members. Number 3, Nicole Rivera. Number 5, Kristen Heidlaw. Number 10, Brianne Smiley. Number 12, Raymond Kingler. Number 13, Amy Atchison. Number 15, Julie Van Grinsven. Number 22, Claudette Towers. Number 24, Sarah Kwasinski. Number 25, Jackie Conrad. Number 30, Erin Walsh. Number 31, Michelle Zatko. Number 32, Margaret Knapp. Number 33, Elizabeth Marino. Number 34, Aaron Lawless. Number 50, Courtney Harvey. And Casey Walsh. Will Coach Mike Williams and the captains of Neuqua Valley High School please step forward to receive the second place trophy. And now will Coach Dave Power of Fenwick High School and his captains please step forward to receive the 2001 first place trophy.
Frank, if you can hear me.
Here are your state champions, the Fenwick Friars. We'll have more from Redford Arena right after this local break. That scene will wrap up our coverage of the girls Class AA State Basketball Championships. But don't forget, there's more basketball coming here on the IHSA TV network. The next 2 weekends, we go to Peoria for Class A, Class AA on the boys' side. Fenwick Friars, your state champion, 65-32 over Neuqua Valley. For Andrea Randall, for Lisa Prati, and for Stacy Carney, I'm Dave Bernhardt. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We will see you in Peoria.